Hey, we're going live. We are live right now, so just quick heads up, Brady, and then you can talk. So we just got Brady on. We just got everybody on. We were commenting on it. Everybody's jumping on at kind of the last minute here, but that's cool. That's good. We just don't have our guest yet.
Yes.
So hey, if you're joining us, welcome to Stormfront Freaks Raw. This is episode 154. Our guest, hopefully, is going to be National Weather Service meteorologist in Flagstaff, Lamont Bain. So we're waiting for him, but this is Stormfront Freaks Raw. So this is the recording of our audio podcast. And what happens is we usually edit this video recording to create our audio podcast, but we end up editing a lot of the stuff out, our breaks, and we beep all the swear words and inappropriate stuff. But if you are watching, it means you're going to get all that, right? So this is the best. This is the good stuff. We allow our Patreon members, you can go to patreon.com/stormfrontfreaks. They get exclusive access to it live, and then they can also view it for the next month after it's been done before we release it to the public. So if you're not on Patreon, you're not one of our teammates there, what are you doing? Jump on so you can join us live and have a good time with us. So
all the cool kids are on Patreon, right?
They do. They are. All the I'm on Patreon, so that counts me too, I suppose. So
how does Patron?
No, Patreon. That Patron's something a little different.
Oh, God.
Still good, but something a little different.
Gotcha.
Phil, it's so different seeing you not in your studio. I'm like, who is that? Oh, that's Phil.
I'm in a hotel room.
There you go.
Yes.
I'm sure that you have enough bandwidth with the internet.
You sound great. Yeah.
I tell you what, I tested it. The download is maybe about. There's Angela. The download is about only 10 megabytes a second, but the upload is also about 10 megabytes a second. And so for an upload speed, which is for me to get to you guys, that's good. That's pretty. That's actually better than my home. Like at home, I've got maybe 8 upload, but like 200 download.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But it's the upload that you need, right, to sound and look good and all that kind of stuff. So
from now on, just go to the hotel, would you?
I probably will.
Wow. It can be that kind of podcast.
Well, I went ahead
And what you're drinking.
Does my mic sound a little better, Phil?
No.
You're kind of far away.
No, I don't even think you're using it. Tap it.
You're so far away from
No, you're not using it. You got to go to your settings.
Hi, Angela.
You think I know? I know.
Angela, don't wave. You're driving. Don't wave.
There we
She's
go.
Not waving.
I think she's frozen.
Oh, she's frozen. Okay. I thought she was blowing me off. What the heck?
So how is everyone? Everyone doing well?
We're doing good. Yeah, you sound better, Brady.
Unbelievable.
Love that, Maz. Love that.
There you go. Yep. Good job, Brady.
Fantastic.
Oh, Angela, you got multiple camera views or something in your truck? Look like you just switched camera views. What's going on?
I'm in a rental car. My truck's in the shop. So there's
rental car studio.
Nice. How much can you haul with a car?
just me and my dog, really.
Okay.
Wow.
It's not an 18-wheeler anymore.
We got you're free, just so you know, Angela, you probably know, but you're freezing up quite a bit. We're not getting a real good signal from you, but just so you're aware.
Maz, how are the kids? Are they getting ready for graduation?
Yeah. I wish we could get our basement finished. It's so hard to get contractors to show up. Been working on this since September.
Wow.
Oh, really?
We were hoping to have it done by Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
We're hoping for graduation around Labor Day weekend. Yeah.
Oh my.
Is it because lack of materials and everything? No.
And everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case they're listening tonight.
Show up tomorrow.
Oh,
Ooh,
check
look at
that
that
view
view.
out.
Oh,
Look at
that's
that.
I like it.
Nice.
Well, Maz, I can't
that's like
promise
Brady
that I'll
Bunch.
do things according to code, but I could, maybe I'll come over and give it a try.
I'll take what I'll supply the beer.
Brady's
Same.
doing the electrical work.
Oh God, you do
Nice.
not want me to do that. No, you don't want me anywhere near it.
How'd you do in circuits class?
I didn't have it. Thank God. I would have failed.
Dang, that was hard.
You did take circuits class? Was
I had
that a
to
part
take electromagnetism 212, which was circuits and capacitors, and I'm like, why?
Wow.
of? Yeah.
It was a weed out class.
For meteorology?
Yeah, almost
Really?
it almost weeded me out.
I
The
think
double E
Yeah.
majors
Wow.
were laughing. They're like, it's so damn easy.
I think they might have had something like that at Ohio State, but I don't think it was
Oh my
called
gosh.
that. It's called like
I think
physics
we had
2.
something like more physics, electrical physics.
Yeah, it was like you had like
Ooh.
the basic physics and you like physics.
It was.
2, electromagnetic.
It was physics
Yeah.
212. You're right. I'm sorry. Physics
Okay.
212. Sorry.
Okay.
It's like 40 years ago. Okay, come on.
I don't think the curriculum's changed much, to be quite honest. You'll see
Oh,
a
I
lot of
see
the
a
same
doggy.
You mocking Nebraska? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
saying our meteorology program. I don't the same classes. You just have the same classes over and over again.
Did you jump on a diff? You got two phones going there or what, Angela? You're muted, but
No. I'm just being naughty.
oh,
What does that mean?
yeah.
Wow. She's got a couple cameras and she said she's
Do
being
tell.
naughty, so I'm just wondering.
Do tell. We're only live, so no one else is
Oh,
watching.
that's right. Never mind.
Actually, no one else is watching right now. To be honest with you, there's nobody.
Oh,
No,
no,
Steve
Steve's
Colliner's on.
We got
Good.
Steve.
Steve's talking.
hi, Steve.
It's showing like no viewers, but I don't know. Steve's there. What's up,
Comments.
Steve?
Well, I got some news. I think but the next time you see me, I might have a no tooth right here, so that'll be fun. Fun little.
Why?
thing to do on the
Planning on
tooth
playing
show.
hockey or what?
No. So I got hit with a baseball a couple years ago, and it knocked a bunch of my teeth out.
Oh,
and
that
then
explains a lot.
Put it back
In
up.
the stands?
Yeah, exactly. What? No, just playing. And when they put them back up in, they said, "Oh, well, they can actually sometimes like die, after a couple of years."
Oh yeah.
I have one that basically, we're gonna have to bury him in the backyard. So
Oh, geez.
yeah,
Huh. Does
So
the
I might
tooth
have
fairy
to-
Chase,
still come to your
Let's
house?
do
I
a
don't
whole
think so.
video
I don't think
where
so.
like we just pretend we punch you and then we'll throw something and then you'll come up with no tooth.
that'll
Yeah.
line up right about when the chase is gonna be.
Yeah.
So it'll be perfect.
We'll find something that looks like a tooth and we'll just go.
Yep, be great for the TikTok.
I used to work with an
Yeah.
anchor who wanted to hurt me. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do tell. We're getting some
Wow,
good shit
yeah.
right now.
If you can
Yeah, no
imagine,
kidding.
apparently when I was much younger, I had less of a filter. And,
Ah,
sometimes I'd say things, and he was like, "I was gonna reach across the table and punch you in the face." I'm like, "What? Why?"
Wow.
He was gonna Will Smith you.
Oh my
really.
No,
God.
that's
Too
like a
soon.
love tap.
Too soon.
Wow.
that
Too
was a
soon.
slap. Yeah.
Let's not even start that.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Uh,
All right, where's our guy?
I don't know. I sent him an email. That's the only way I've got to communicate with him is email.
Email. We'll get it tomorrow at work.
There's no address.
He's like, oh crap, I'm sorry.
We might.
Talk about the anchor who wanted to hurt me.
Yeah.
Twitter.
I'm into
At
that.
first I thought, well, what's her name and what'd you do to her?
It was a guy. No, don't
Well, what
don't
did you do?
date the anchors. Wait, give me a minute.
Like I always wanted
don't
to.
date the anchors.
Like I always didn't like you, or just that one time.
No, we're friends. He was in my wedding and stuff too, but he was like, Massaro, sometimes I just want to hit you in the face when you say stuff. I'm
Did he
like,
talk like that? Like he's mob or something?
no, he was Catholic, so it's pretty much the same.
Ah,
Was he a producer? Or was he another
Kidding.
weather guy?
He was a sportscaster.
Oh, that makes
It was
That
a
makes
really
sense.
good guy. Really
Yeah.
good guy.
So
I
basically
still call
you-
him my friend.
You'd
I
say
just-
stuff
we have-
about the weather, and he would be like, "Oh,
We haven't
God,"
spoken
You know,
in decades, but
eh.
good.
hopefully,
Serena's
hopefully-
like, I don't want to be your friend now.
no, it's funny. It's like that whole keep your friends close, your enemies closer thing. You really took to heart. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
You.
Put him
You're
in
like,
your
oh,
wedding
this
and
guy wants to
everything.
punch me. Would you like to be in my wedding? And he's like, hell yeah. So,
It actually is impressive that he was in your wedding.
yeah.
Well, okay, he wasn't
cool.
in my wedding. He came to the wedding. Let's put it that
Oh.
Okay, that's
he was in the
different. That's
crowd.
So
different.
that
At
was
the
the
wedding.
proverbial. I've got to invite him because I invited everybody else.
way. Yeah. No, he was a good
Yeah.
guy. I like it. Crazy.
All right, so-
Back in the
so let's-
crazy single times.
Let's do this. Let's figure out. I'm going to ask Dan and Angela, since you guys are on. What's our backup plan? What do you want us talking about? What should we be talking about?
Put all the pressure on them.
Yeah, tell us, give us some ideas. What you would like us to discuss? Because rarely do we ever discuss a whole lot amongst ourselves, at least on the show, the edited show, right? What do you got? What do you got for us? Ideas?
I'm not very bright, so this is going to take a while.
We got all
So
night.
not
That's all
true. You are a
We're
smart
here all
dude,
night.
Dan.
Have
Dan
you, have,
is
we ever,
brilliant.
have we ever done one where we talk about our favorite chase?
Ooh, that's a great one.
Let's talk about Serena
Or like,
I'm gonna need more beer.
in a good way.
we could talk about like our craziest moment on camera for those of us that did on air, or like what we covered. Chase.
Yeah. The event that got us into weather, like the storm, or the why we chased, or why we're into weather.
Did we do that
did that.
one time? I
Yeah.
think we did do that.
Oh,
I think there's been one show.
I wasn't a part of it.
It
That-
was PC.
yeah.
PC
You were.
Serena.
Yeah,
Serena.
Oh, why we got into weather? That's a good one.
yeah. There was one show that we didn't have. I think that was the one we were supposed to have Aaron J. Jack on, and Michelle, and they were chasing. And I think we added, like, he gave us like a day or two notice, which is better sometimes than I get from other people. But I think I just opted to go, all right, hey, we'll come up with, do something.
We could make up a story
Ourselves.
and see if the others could say, "Is that really the story that
Wow.
got you into weather?"
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Or the coolest thing we ever did in our career. That's a good one.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Pretty cool.
Or
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah.
It takes a little pre-planning, but maybe everyone could do it last minute, like a two truths and a lie thing, like two things you've really done and one that's not, and we all have to guess which one's the lie.
Could be
Ooh,
cool.
that's
Okay.
tricky and fun. I got to think about that one really quick.
God, yeah.
Okay.
That'd be hard because normally one is I do a podcast, right? So, but that
That's a
doesn't
lie.
work.
Or
That
just
doesn't
do
work with
one-
this group.
One's true, one's false.
I used to be on radio. That doesn't work with this group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know more about Dina's flying. That's what I want to know more about.
Yeah.
That's how I got into weather.
All right. What Steve says, mine was one of our local meteorologists came and did a weather presentation at our school when I was younger. Went from being scared to now obsessed with weather.
Nice.
That's
Wait, which
where
city?
it started
Love
for
that.
him.
Maybe we were there. Which city was it?
Yeah, local. From where, Steve?
It's so crazy to think that like 2 years ago we were in Oklahoma City and we were
I
seeing
know.
we were with you in person, Steve.
I know. And all those pictures came up on Facebook, recently. Did you guys all have that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
all like the
Tulsa.
memories.
Wait, that's the Steve Bain?
No.
Collier.
Steve Collier, who's
Oh,
Lamont
okay.
Bain
I was like,
is our
didn't
guest
seem
that's
right.
not here yet.
He was at the brewery with us.
Yeah, he's at the brewery.
Yeah.
Tulsa. Yeah, the cowboy hat.
So
We were like
Steve,
the
oh,
last
yeah. Right. Cool. dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
We were like
Steve,
the
I'm from-
last ones to get a tour of the place before everything shut down for COVID. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, at the Weather Center. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Tell
still
me,
not.
Did you
Really?
drink? Did you drink more of the Stormfront Freaks beer than you probably should have because it was the Stormfront Freaks beer?
Are you asking me?
Well, okay, I guess it looks like I'm looking at you. Pretty much, I'm looking at everybody.
No, I drank. We went out. We ate at some good places too.
Yeah, it was fun.
In the
Top
basement
golf
of that.
was fun.
Top golf was fun.
I've
Yeah,
never
that
really
was-
done that before, so that was fun.
That was a blast.
I didn't do that. I wasn't there.
We got to drink, eat, and hit some balls. It was
was
fun.
that Saturday night?
Naz,
I
we were on
can-
the same.
I thought it was the morning. I'm pretty sure that was Saturday morning.
Pretty early.
No.
No, it was after we
I
all
flew-
got in, I think.
Oh,
Wasn't it? Wasn't it the day we got in?
For some reason,
I
I'm
don't know,
thinking it was
'cause
like at 11.
No. Because
I don't
Jen and I took a
remember.
cab together or
No,
something.
Jen wasn't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there either.
She wasn't there either.
Or
It was
Uber.
Maz
We
and
took
I
an Uber.
rocking the plane. Yeah.
Right.
I remember when I saw Maz for the first time. It was really exciting.
Like, Maz is
Yeah, it
actually
was.
out. He's out of his chateau back there.
He did this.
Yeah.
There's no way. What?
All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make some up. So, fuck. This is not what I want to do when MJ's not here to run everything. And I'm
Blame it
trying
on
to bring
MJ.
So, I'm going to record the pre-opening later. And I'm just going to I'll just do the regular opening now. Do what everybody's drinking.
I'm almost done.
Are you? Well, do you need to get a refill now before we start?
I know I can hear your glass.
You can do a
every
Oh, can
once
you hear
in
me
a while.
tinkle? I mean, like ice.
Sometimes.
Tinkle, tinkle.
He didn't turn off his mic, and now he's tinkling.
Gosh,
Hold on.
that would be fun if we had a forecasting challenge where every time you're wrong, you had to like drink or something. That could be fucking fun.
All right, so we're gonna wing it. All right,
All right.
you guys
Okay.
ready to do this?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're absolutely gonna just wing it. If
It's like,
makes
whose line
on-
is it anyway?
Right.
That's
Love
what it's
that
gonna be.
Play a
That's
game
what
show.
it's gonna be. And the sad thing is that this is all I'm drinking right now.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, like I need.
Well, who was ringing your, or who was knocking at the door?
Who's
Who's ringing the bell?
It was housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Yeah.
Like me fluff your pillow.
so
You want me to fluff your pillow?
was that the voice? Was it? Would you like me to fluff up your pillow? You're like,
What if we use
It was
Trollbot
not.
to impersonate Bane and we just have him, be Trollbot?
That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
That's
That
funny.
would be
Yes.
good.
We
Yes.
just ask Trollbot questions.
could we? That's funny. Oh, it would
Interview
take too
Trollbot.
I
long.
wonder if
Dang
Lamont
it.
has a
Lord.
Wikipedia
It-
Someone
page.
Trollbot.
sticks bag of nuts in his lady's pie hole and
Exactly.
tops it off with a cherry bow tie.
Yeah, no. All right, let's do this. We're just gonna do this. All right, we're gonna rock and roll.
Play the episode. Slow down the drinking part again. That's
Dan-
funny as heck.
Dan and Angela, you guys can stay on, but just mute yourselves. Yeah, let's do this. Make sure that's turned up. Ready to go. All right, here we go. And you guys are just gonna have to go along with whatever I say. That's how this works.
Let's just
That's how it
roll.
works tonight.
We're in.
All right, coming in. 3, 2. Hey, welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast. This is the award-winning Stormfront Freaks podcast. Thanks to our Patreon members that certainly help us support the show, including those joining us live tonight. We've been talking a little bit here pre-show with Steve Collier is with us. I'm trying to see if anyone else has jumped on. No one else has jumped on. And then back in our green room, we've got Dan and Angela are back there as well. But we just want to say thank you to all of those that join our team at patreon.com/StormfrontFreaks and are with us live in the chat or they're on the show with us, having a chance to normally communicate with our guests, which may or may not be the case tonight. But it is always happy hour on our show, and it always gives us a chance to introduce the co-hosts that are with us tonight and also let you know, we like to have a little fun. And so I'm going to go around with our co-hosts tonight and not only find out what they're drinking, but guys, I'm going to also ask you, tell us what you're drinking and what's your favorite all-time TV show? Like what was, and maybe it still is, like I don't see a lot of TV now, but what was it or still is that you got to keep watching? Either you binged it if it was binged, or it was like every week it was constant must-see TV kind of stuff. And I'm going to start. I'm going to start down in Atlanta. Dina Knightley, our meteorologist and weather producer at the Weather Channel. Dina, what are you drinking, and what's your favorite TV show?
I'm actually not drinking liquor today. I've been trying to be good and cut out the alcohol a little bit. Doesn't have
respect
any
that.
police involved or anything like that. No matter what you heard.
Hey, I respect that, Dina. I respect that.
Let's see. As far as TV shows go, okay, Dexter, number one. Anybody ever
Yes.
watched? That was the best.
I've never
I've-
seen it though.
Yeah, I
It
haven't
was
seen
the
it.
best, and I just, they just had that last season that just came out like 10 years after the so-called end of the show, and it was good. The ending still could have been a little better, but still all-time #1 favorite show.
What'd you like? What made it so good?
I just liked it. There's a bad guy, of course. He's a serial killer. That's the whole thing. But the fact that there is humor in it. But I like characters that really think ahead, that really have a plan. Like no matter what this guy falls into, what trouble he falls into, he always finds a way out of it. And I kind of like that. It's always the writing was done very well. It was a very thought out. There's a lot of shows like that where, like you might watch season 2 and then season 4, it's tied back in because it's written so well. But
Is the lead character's name Dexter?
Dexter
Yes.
Morgan.
Good guess.
How did you guys never even hear of
Good
Dexter?
It's just a hunch,
Dina,
So
I love Dexter. I love
It's
Dexter.
the best. It's the
really,
best.
really good.
It had humor and serial killers.
Yes.
Seems like
So
a-
the whole thing was that this boy, his mother was killed in front of him when he was little, and a
No
cop
spoilers.
took him in.
Whoa!
I'm just
whoa.
starting it.
All right.
No, this is just how it's.
It's only been out for a decade.
It's been out since like I don't know, before iPhones, that's for sure. But like this cop takes him in and adopts him, and he could tell as he's getting older that he's got these bad tendencies to want to kill. So he teaches him how to just kill bad people, so that he doesn't go to jail. And he turns out to be a forensic scientist, so he knows how DNA works. He knows how blood works. He's a blood guy.
Classic.
So he's in the police department, and so he's an insider. If you haven't watched it, it's fabulous.
It's interesting.
Which
All
decade?
on my list.
From? Which decade?
Which decade?
I mean, probably started in
Early
2001,
2000s?
early
Yeah.
2000s.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then
Yeah.
it went to like maybe, I don't know, it went 8 seasons, and then everybody hated the ending.
Yeah,
Um,
I did too.
Yeah, and so it just came out. It came out in Showtime, and it had a huge following.
Cool.
So that was a good one.
All right, we're going to jump up to northeast of our country there in Vermont. Serena Arnold, our former meteorologist at the Mount Washington Observatory. Serena, what are you drinking? And then, your favorite TV show
Okay.
of all time.
I'm sitting in New Hampshire drinking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always get those. Is it the one that's shaped like a V or the one that's like...
Vermont's the V. I'm the upside
Yeah,
down
it's
one.
All right.
the inverse.
I'll never
Yeah.
get that right, just so you know. I'll keep saying
That's
that
okay.
forever. But
That's all right. But hey,
it's
that's
like
okay.
North or South Dakota. All right, but yeah, sorry.
So I'm drinking a Cloud Drop double IPA, which
Oh,
is
nice.
just a cute little beer. And like you, Dina, I'm like I only have like something to drink on every other Thursday night now. So
Why
a
is that?
double IPA
I'm
should
just
put me under the
because
table.
I'm getting too old, and I can't just drink and eat whatever I want.
Yep.
And
You guys aren't old. You guys are
I'm like
young.
the oldest
Don't
one
let
on
anyone
here.
Tell you differently.
I want to fit my
Yeah.
pants.
Look at this. You see this
Oh,
gray
that's
hair? You
hey,
guys are
that's an
young.
entirely different show. We're not doing that tonight, Dina.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Maybe that is my
We're not
favorite
covering that.
show.
Dina, you just reminded me of that YouTube video, and you said I want to fit my pants. Where the one that's called "Ship My Pants." Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my gosh! When you're
No,
done
we're
with the
interested.
show, you've got to
Okay.
type in "Ship My Pants." It was an
Oh my
actual
God.
commercial that they pulled. It's hysterical.
All right.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
All
sorry.
right, favorite TV show.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring
On
the,
that note. That's the hero segue.
Yeah, I know. I
Smooth.
feel like I'm gonna bring the IQ of the room down a little bit, but like
Ooh.
Family Guy, Bob's Burgers.
Great show.
Ah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Really?
yeah.
they're good. They're just so good. They're just so funny, and it's like one after another with the jokes, and some of them go over your head like at first, and it takes you a minute. Oh my god, Yeah, they're the best.
How long has that show been out now?
Long time.
It's been
Oh
a
man,
while.
I mean, Family Guy started what in 2000 2001 was the first season, and then it went away,
early. Yeah.
and then came back because it's awesome. So
Okay. All right, Maz, we're coming to you. Mark Massaro, former on-camera meteorologist in Cincinnati. What are you drinking?
Before I get to that, does anybody feel like the line from Jurassic Park when they say, eventually, is there going to be dinosaurs on the dinosaur tour here? Weather podcast? Anyway.
Wow.
Okay, so I guess it's what was I drinking? It's gone now. Oh, no, there's a little bit.
Yeah, man.
It's Sailor Jerry and Coke Zero, just to keep the calories down.
Sailor
Ooh.
Jerry. What is Sailor
Jerry's
Jerry?
rum.
Oh,
It's like
Ah.
Captain Morgan.
Captain
Only
Morgan,
better.
Rum and
Captain
I-
Morgan,
I-
Sailor
Brand.
Jerry, nice.
Only
Yep.
better. It's better.
See what
Yeah.
they did there.
Rum doesn't
And
do well
what was
with
I
me.
gonna- MASH. MASH.
Mash.
Ooh, you're going
MASH.
back.
Someone
I do.
needs
That's
to
why-
explain me what MASH is.
Which decade? I wasn't when I was young. They were like, "Oh, you got to go to bed. You can't watch this show."
Brady, you've heard of MASH, right?
No, I promise you, this is not me making it up. I've never heard of the show MASH.
Pierce and Hawkeye and Colonel
No.
Potter.
Google it after the show.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Another
still on
Google.
like one of the channels where like
late at night or something. Yeah,
What's
Yeah.
the concept?
I think it may have actually gone on longer than like Cheers, which is my second favorite, by the way. For series, for length, how many seasons they had? It was
it was
ridiculously
set in
long.
Korea in the
Yes.
Korean War,
Okay.
and they
It was
were
beyond
surgeons.
popular. Like,
Yeah, they were surgeons in a MASH unit, Mobile Army Surgical
It's
Hospital.
like a
Hospital.
comedy
Nice.
or
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
funny. But there was drama. There was drama
Yeah.
in it once in a
yeah,
while.
it's
you
in
know.
the Korean War, so I
Yeah.
can see there being some
Yeah.
drama.
But every once in a while, I'll turn the channel and it'll be on.
That's fine.
All right. We're moving on. Jen Watson, our contributor at the Weather Channel. Jen, what are you drinking? And
You
what's
guys,
your favorite TV?
it's a really like mundane drinking because I'm not even drinking hot chocolate. It's just water. We're all
Add-
going down tonight.
add
Some of
chocolate.
us are getting that drunk today. Maybe
Wow.
Maz.
Yeah.
I know.
See-
I don't know what it is.
See, Jennifer, the setup of it's just wrong. You're drinking dihydrogen monoxide.
This is
Ooh,
true.
yeah.
This
Wait a
is
second.
true.
What? Say that again?
Dihydronide. Well, now I'm messing.
God,
it
you
up.
went to school, Brady.
Dihydrogen.
Dihydrogen monoxide.
Wow.
I love
I don't know if I want to drink water anymore if that's the name of it. I'm not really sure.
It's good to be hydrated. Okay, so my favorite show growing up was Full House.
Yeah.
Only because I have a twin sister, and so like we thought we were the Olsen twins, and so
Right, I forgot.
Are you upset that what's her face got put in? Didn't she go to jail?
yeah.
Oh yeah, Becky, Aunt Becky.
Yeah,
went
Yeah,
to
Aunt
that
jail.
was
Becky.
upsetting. That was
Yeah, for
upsetting.
college
Did
friend.
what's that?
Yeah.
College.
That's
fries.
very
Because it's expensive.
Says the actress. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But no, we used
All
to
right.
switch classes on April 1st every year. It was fun.
Aw.
Did you really? Now,
Yes.
did they do that on Full House? Is that where you got the idea?
No, actually, one
Okay.
of our teachers
Brady.
came up with the
Yeah,
idea.
you're good.
And so we did it like every single year, and our teachers would try to trick us and everything like that. Like, it was hilarious. And now we
you
try to
switched
trick our kids.
classes
That's awesome.
like when you were older, or
Yeah,
when
well,
you were
it started in elementary school. Like, we were like 7. And then we just every year it was like our thing on April 1st, on April Fool's Day.
Oh, and
Yeah.
April. I'm surprised my twin boys have not done it. Like he'd be like,
Oh my-
"Hey, bud, go take my math test."
I would do that all the time. I mean,
Oh my gosh. No, we
Yeah.
really like I was really good at math. She was really good at English. So we thought about that seriously.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I haven't brought it up because I don't want to give him ideas.
Yeah, no, don't give him ideas.
Brady, you have a twin, don't you?
You know, I do, but he can't.
Brady, you have a
unfortunately-
twin.
I
How
do,
did I
yeah.
not know this?
Yeah.
What's his
he's
name
a little-
again?
He's a little bit of a troublemaker. His name's Brad. He's a
Brad.
bit of a
That's
Brad
right.
and Brady.
Bad
Yeah,
Brad.
I still know why my mom named him that, but that's fine. You know, whatever.
Well, Brady, while we're on you, Brady Harris,
this is
our
the
atmospheric
imaginary
science.
twin. This is
Hey,
the imaginary
hey,
twin.
Dina.
No,
Come on.
come and Jason.
Yeah, you missed that episode, Dina. We'll get you on another episode where we get those two. We get those two back on. But Brady Harris, our atmospheric science graduate. Brady, what are you drinking?
You know, I hate to keep the train rolling, but I'm drinking some water. But I have an excuse. If you can see, I have a long ways to go. I still have about quarter of 49 ounces left to go. But I'm picking my brother up from the airport in a little bit, so I gotta take it easy here. But my favorite TV show is Game of Thrones. And once you get past kind of the crazy first season with all the nudity and all that stuff, once you get past that, it is actually a fantastic show.
It is. It was very good.
I forget what the other TV show, Dexter, it does not end well. So
yeah.
What?
Just be ready for that.
House of Dragons, I think, is August.
Yeah.
Coming out.
It's just it's hard when you have a show that goes beyond 6 seasons. It is really hard to end it well. So that's all right. I enjoyed it while it lasted.
I love Game of Thrones too, by the way.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
I did until Red Wedding, then I was out.
Oh, that was brutal.
All right, so we have just we got our guest, kind of made it. Now I don't know. He's phasing in and out. He was in his car, I could tell, but we're losing you, Lamont. We have you and we lose you. Right now, we've lost you.
We also lost Angela.
Yeah,
I think she's there, but it's dark because I see like.
Yeah,
movement.
she might have muted her camera, maybe. I don't know, but
no dome light.
So anyway, we'll cut that for the show, but at least we got our guest. So Maz, do you have his intro when we're ready to get him on? Okay.
Yeah.
The fun of live podcasting, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, while we're waiting, I have a current conditions, and you guys have to name that city.
Okay.
It is, and I'm going to try and pick major ones here. 37 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are about 9 miles an hour to the northwest. It is light snow, a little bit of light snow showers. And what else? Wind chills, it's about 30, so winds aren't too bad.
Denver.
Chicago.
Denver?
Yeah, I was going to say Chicago, Michigan.
Chicago, yep, it's Chicago.
Oh.
Yeah.
I cheated. I have the radar up.
Wow.
I don't have the current conditions, but I do have the radar up.
There's Lamont. I could see him.
Woo! Hey, Lamont.
Hey, Lamont.
Hello,
Hey there.
I like your jacket and everything. You're looking good.
Oh, that's cool.
Lamont. Can you hear us? Hello.
Oh, he's muted again.
We don't have you. Yeah, right now you're muted.
It's also like daylight. Where is he?
Arizona.
You've got the. I was gonna say
Oh,
you've
that's
got
right,
the
Arizona.
right up there, Matt.
Flagstaff.
That's right, I forgot.
You're gonna tell us where he is.
That's right. That's right. I am.
He cannot hear anybody.
I'm gonna take another drink.
The crow,
Lamont, if you can you hear us? Yes or no?
He says I cannot hear anyone on his
I know.
private chat.
Okay.
Are you going to be at a computer anytime soon? we might have to go back to our backup plan.
All
All right, next city. It is 65 degrees. Winds about 7 miles an hour out of the north. Visibility is good. I don't want to say the dew point. That won't help. Actually, dew point's 30. That's pretty low.
Ooh.
And it is pretty clear.
Look at Dan with the stuff in the background trying to help us out.
I know.
Phoenix.
What's the temperature?
65.
Winds out of the north.
Phoenix.
All right. Lamont, can you hear us now?
Yes. I can hear you all now.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I must apologize because I read 7 p.m. Mountain Time, and I was like, 7 p.m. I'll get back home, around 6:30. And then I opened up my email and I saw the message like, hey, we're looking for you. I was like, I thought it was 7 p.m. And then when I went back and looked at the message, it was 9 Eastern. So probably know this. Arizona doesn't observe. We never go to daylight time. So we're always on standard time. And I read the 7 Mountain Time as, standard time. And if I had read the, 9 p.m. Eastern time, I would have realized, hey, yes, 3 hours behind them. So 6
You
p.m.
got the one state that messes around.
That
with
would be
the,
horrible.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I probably didn't help you out a whole lot on that either. Not. I was just guessing you were mountain and
Yes,
figured
and
I'd
we
try.
are. It's very interesting because here across northern Arizona we have a large Native American population, and the Navajo Nation actually does observe daylight time, and so whenever we have warnings, similar to some WFOs that have their forecast area spanned over a time zone, we also have the dual times where one is for the standard time, but then also one for the daylight time. So it's been quite an adjustment living. Most of my life I've lived on Central Time, and so then coming to permanent Mountain Standard Time has been pretty eye opening. So, but it's all good.
Were you about to say Navajo time?
So that's actually a discussion that we've had in the office for some of our text products is, do we want to be explicit and sort of have Arizona time? And, most people here in Arizona will likely know what that means. But then also, for the Native American tribes, Navajo time. The issue is we've got multiple Native American tribes. And so it's not just the Navajo. We've got the Hopi. We've got the white Apache Native American tribe here, so that we're not sure how that would go over if we just said Navajo time, but maybe daylight time for this time.
All right, well, let's do this. This is good chat, but let's get we'll get going here on the show so we don't keep everybody. If you're good with that, Lamont.
Sure. Yes.
Now I assume you're using your phone right now to call in.
I am using my phone, yes, because as I was driving, I was dropping in and out, and I said, let me just get to one spot and at least do the call here.
Because your audio is really, you're clicking a lot, clicking in and out. I don't know, can you put earbuds in or something that might help?
Let me see if I have. I don't think I actually have any earbuds.
And or how close are you to getting home or to a computer that?
Maybe about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Are you driving right now?
No, I'm parked.
No,
good.
hey,
I was like, don't look for the
this.
earbuds.
I'm just going to say this, Lamont. If you can, let's just give you time to get home, because the audio is not that great anyway.
Okay, sounds good.
And that way it'll just sound better, and we might have to cut things a little short, but
okay,
we'll do it that way.
Good.
Okay. All right. We'll see you in a little bit.
See you then. Right,
Thanks,
bye.
Lamont.
Thanks, Lamont.
So Phil, we could always do the end stuff now too, like do weather fools and all that stuff.
Sure, let's do
That's
that.
a good idea.
It was Dallas, by the way.
Jeez, because everybody was on the edge of their seat on that.
Oh, man.
Brady, I love
Okay.
that.
All right, so we are going to go straight to coming out of the second break. And we're going to go straight into Weather Fools. So Serena, you've got Weather Fools. So if Dan and Angela, I'm just going to go ahead and put you guys back in the green room for now, since I got to be doing Mark's job of moving people around and stuff around. It's going to be a little easier for me. So if you guys are okay with that. Okay.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen too.
Okay, Dina, I see
got
your
a
screen.
weather pool.
Brady, I see your screen.
That's
Dina.
Do not have a weather.
Yeah, good idea, Serena. Let's get this stuff done.
Okay. I just got Serena. So I have Serena, Brady, and Dina. I got to share mine. Share screen.
I was thinking if you had a ton of Weather Fools, Phil, that we could have just done the whole show as Weather Fools.
Yeah.
True. I've got 2. No, 3.
Oh, okay.
You have 3. Who else has weather fools?
I do.
Okay, Dina
And Brady.
and
I
Brady.
don't. I actually don't. I have something.
Oh, okay.
I come straight
All
up.
right. So nothing for Jen or Maz.
God, this is gonna be.
I
fun.
don't have my pen to.
You know what?
write it down
Here's
like
the
I
thing.
normally do.
I'm pulling out. I'm not going to. I'm pulling out of Weather Fools.
Giggity.
I got to try and
Okay.
manage my Weather Fools and
Giggity.
everybody else's is going to be too much.
Yeah.
Too much multitasking for me.
I like
So,
Steve said,
I'm
Weather
out.
Fools for April Fools.
There you go.
Wow, it is
There's
almost
the line.
full. Holy crap.
Which I can't believe.
All right. So, Serena, you know what you're doing there. Episode 154, show notes at stormfrontfreaks.com.
Okay.
And then Brady, what's happening next? So you'll intro that to the song Unbelievable.
Love it.
And then again, everybody remember to email me your weather fools, and Brady email me your clips so I can get those in the show notes. And then you can tell them, you can see all these on episode 154 show notes at stormfrontfreaks.com. We'll send them to the website, and then I'll close us out. And we'll thank Lamont for being a guest. All that good stuff, right? All right. So we'll get you ready, Serena?
Yeah. Any of your weather fools, do you want us to include? Like, do you want me to share any of them? Because if any of them are like super stellar and you want me to,
no, it's nothing that I can't do next episode or whatever.
Okay.
It's,
you got it.
and my guess is one of them might be, you guys might have one of them. Any of you have a snow squall pile up?
Oh, I thought about it. The guy that was getting out of his car.
That was a crazy, like, I watched that so many times because it was just wild.
Oh,
and then he cut his camera. Yeah.
Crazy. All right, Serena, here we go.
Okay.
Coming in. I'll start the song and then do the applause. You can come in.
Okay.
So 3, 2.
It is time for Weather Fools. So this is a segment of the show that we absolutely love, where we get to highlight people who make not great decisions involving the weather. So speaking of weather fools, who here, raise your hand if you've seen that footage of the snow squall? Phil was just talking about it, where like those cars were crazy. We don't have it. I'm not showing it here right now, but if you haven't seen that video yet, oh my God, go out and find it, because it's insane. It's absolutely
What's it called?
Insane.
It is insane.
Yeah.
It might be coming up. Brady, is that one of yours?
Well, I guess we'll just have to see. Who knows?
We're gonna merge segments.
Okay.
All right. So what I've got here is a. Did anybody hear the story about the guy who thought it would be a good idea to impersonate a National Weather Service officer?
Oh,
this was a good one. Yeah,
I did
this was
it.
a good one. So this was back in March. There was a guy who put on a National Weather Service shirt and went out and talked to a CNN crew about the storm surveys and the tornado surveys.
What?
And what this was going to be rated and how they needed to bring out engineering crews. It was going to take another week. Well, the most amazing thing happened is he was found out on social media, and this was down in Louisiana, and the WFO of the New Orleans office took to social media to call this guy out and said, "I work at that office. He's impersonating me. This guy does not work here." Talk about.
He can go to jail for that, though, can he?
He can. And so people were actually talking about the last person to impersonate a meteorologist, like a National Weather Service employee, because it's actually like a crime.
Wow. It is a crime.
About a year probation and fines. So, I mean, and that wasn't like taking to video. So this guy did, an interview on CNN posing as a National Weather Service meteorologist.
God.
It doesn't get much more weatherful than that for me.
That is the biggest weather fool of all time.
Yes.
What was his end goal there?
Is that considered identity theft?
Something like, I can't believe if you read in the comments, though, the one that impersonated in Davenport was 1 year probation and 2 fines of like $600.
And that wasn't like getting on CNN and doing interview. Just crazy.
Yeah.
So please, people, don't do that. You can appreciate the weather and love the weather. Please don't go impersonating National Weather Service employees.
God.
Yeah. Like major weather fool. So
You might get the chair.
they may give you the chair for that. Cool. So Dina, you've got a weather fool tonight too, right?
I do. And this one's pretty funny. So it's in Spanish, but you can, of course, translate it. And it says one of the eruptions that this volcano, I think Fuego, it's erupting, and all these people are standing like right on the side of the volcano. Like, look at this. How can you be standing right there when this thing's erupting? Like,
oh God,
how dumb can you get? I actually saw this one day and I'm like, oh my God, this is a total weather fool. I mean, it's erupting and it doesn't seem like anything's coming down right in front of them.
Oh, they're so high up there.
They're so high and they're right up on the mountain where, like, if something starts flowing down, they're dead.
How'd they get up there?
Or shoot sideways. If it shoots off
I just can't believe anybody's that dumb.
That's
I don't
crazy. That's
It makes me
crazy.
Yeah, some of those eruptions, like the side of the mountain can blow out.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
side of the
Wait.
mountain can blow up.
Wait, is this a volcano chasing tour?
Oh,
I guess.
God.
And we don't know what they're drinking either. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
anyway,
A lot of
that
different stuff.
that was just insanity.
Oh
When
my
I saw
God.
that, I was like, oh my God, I'm saving this for Weather Fools.
That's the perfect weatherful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my God. All right. Well, if you want to see the videos or the links to these incredible fools, go to stormfrontfreaks.com and click on the show notes for episode 154.
Very good. Brady, did you have something to share too?
No.
Oh. Yeah, you do.
No, for the next segment.
Oh, that's the next segment.
What is the next segment, everybody?
God,
No. Woo! Pump it up, people! This is the Stormfront Freaks podcast, and what is this segment? Well, it's What Happens Next, where I show a video. I'm going out on YouTube looking for something crazy, something wild, and I'm going to show it to the freaks. I'm going to show maybe a couple of seconds here, and then I'm going to ask you guys what happens next. Let's first start off with a scenario probably some of you are familiar with. It is and this happened, I think, pretty recently. And I forget where, but it was a snowy place in the United States. And it takes place on a freeway. And I'm just going to go ahead and let a couple seconds play and pause it.
Oh my God.
And you can see here, it's clearly snowing heavily, and it's foggy, and it's on a freeway. And there's already a couple of cars that have gone into an accident. So I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen this video. What do you guys think happens next?
Is that Angela's
You
truck?
see the ghost.
Is that
truck
18-wheeler? I see an 18-wheeler that's coming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So
I don't even want.
Yeah.
It's already a ghost. So it looks like a ghost in this video.
Yeah. So it's pretty old here. And it's snow squall for those that haven't seen it, and cars are just piling up. And there's a guy on the side of the freeway. Oh my God.
Like on a good day, that place is packed with cars. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, and just, I mean, a lot of you have probably seen that video, but if you haven't, you definitely need to check it out
It's
because
insane.
it's crazy. And there multiple people died. I mean, so that was your discretion is advised on that, right? Because it was pretty bad.
And I think the guy that actually filmed it, he stopped because it was so bad, so he could help people. Like he turned off the camera so he could run and help people.
Yeah, because what can you do in this? I mean, you can't wave cars down. I mean, they can't even see you, so it's crazy. But
yeah.
All right. Well, the next clip, this also happened pretty recently. And the kind of the backdrop here is it looks like there's some sort of river and there's some sort of boat in the distance and there's some low hanging clouds here. I'm just going to play a couple of seconds and pause it. What do you guys think happens next?
I don't know.
You
Can
haven't
you
played
play
it yet, have you?
play a little bit?
I did. I don't want to play a little bit. I'm going to stop it right there.
Is it water spout?
I was going to say lightning until I see that dark shadow on the left side.
Yeah.
Lightning?
Looks pretty low.
It does. Yeah, I think you guys are onto something here. So I'm going to go ahead and play this here. You can see on the left side of the screen, there's a rotating funnel, and it looks like, and there's a tornado.
Wow.
Across the
There
way.
it is.
And it's headed right. I mean, it's headed right for that cruise ship. I mean,
This
That's
looks
scary.
like it's almost sped
Oh,
up,
man.
but I'm looking at the clock at the bottom.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
I just
I have
realized I
not
have no
seen this.
desire to storm chase on water. Could you
Yeah.
imagine being in that boat?
I mean,
No.
that was
Oh my
about as
God.
close as
Oh
a
my
call as
God.
it comes, and that was actually
That's
the storm in New Orleans, or I believe that was one of the tornadoes that hit that came close to one of those cruise ships. So
Oh, wow.
That's a big tornado.
yeah. So that
Oh my
was pretty wild. The next one and the last one, we have a on-air meteorologist. I believe it's First Warning Weather. KXAN. And I'm just going to let a couple seconds play here. It looks like he's zooming on a tornado warning, and he is seeing getting some sort of message from his producer here. I'm going to go ahead and pause it. What do you guys think happens next?
He gets pissed and pulls out his ear. His IFB.
That's
No,
a lot.
They're commenting. There's probably telling them, "Hey, that storm looks too much like a penis appendage hanging down. Don't show that part of the storm."
That's hilarious.
Well, that's one thing that could happen. Well, let's actually see what happens next here. So he goes to it looks like a traffic cam.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
There's
They
a
were
tornado
probably
right
telling
there.
him they had video of it, like when he was
Mm.
on it.
Yeah.
You can see a tornado just crosses the freeway right in front, and they get it right on the screen.
Wow.
Where was this? Where's this?
This
I-35.
That was just north of Austin. God, what was the name? I keep thinking Shingle Hills or something like that. It's a suburb just kind of north of Austin.
I saw Bee Cave as one of the towns. Had me intrigued.
Because they'll always drop the radar if they've got live video.
Yep. Yeah, and this all of these videos like happen within the past 2 weeks. So it's been a pretty crazy week and a half or 2 weeks of weather. So
Yeah, that's
awful.
wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but
season's kicked off.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. When spring comes, I mean everything just kind of lets loose. But so all these videos, you can go to stormfrontfreaks.com, look for show number 154, and we'll have the links there.
Awesome. Well, hey, everybody. I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast.
The time's flown.
Didn't it?
Wow.
Didn't it? Wow, that was a fast one. But hey, before I announce our next guest, if you like the show, don't forget to follow the Stormfront Freaks podcast so you get notified and receive the latest episodes of our show delivered right to your podcast player the moment that they get released. You can also find all the podcast player options right on our website, stormfrontfreaks.com. And do us a favor, tell or share us with a friend. We always like to be shared with your friends. That kind of came out funny.
Are you in again?
That's right. And then you can also visit stormfrontfreaks.com to find our Patreon link, so you can check out all the ways we can do more with you, and that you can also help support the show, whether it's the live access where you can view and chat during our raw recordings. We got exclusive merchandise that we give out, and you can even join us and our guests in the green room. So just visit patreon.com/stormfrontfreaks to join the team. And again, a big shout out to our Patreon team that support the show. Also, you can subscribe to our YouTube page, and we don't talk about this a whole lot on the audio podcast, but you can watch previous versions of our recordings of Stormfront Freaks Raw, which is our completely unedited recording of the audio show. You can hear all the great conversations during breaks, great questions from our VIPs for our guests, and who knows what else gets beeped out or edited out of our audio podcast. You can subscribe to it on youtube.com/Stormfront Freaks. Special thanks to our guest tonight, who's back there in the green room right now, Lamont Bain. Thank you very much. Had a great time with you tonight. You are outstanding, so thanks for joining. And then, Freaks, let us know how people can follow you and find your content. Jen, I'm going to start with you.
You can follow me on Instagram at just Jennifer Weather, or Twitter at jwatson_WX.
Cool. Serena.
I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as WX Serena with a CY, and I'm starting a TikTok.
Ooh.
No kidding.
Really?
And you're up in New Hampshire, too, right?
I yeah, not Vermont, but New Hampshire.
All right. Brady Harris, how about you?
Yeah, so I'm on TikTok at Columbus Weather with Brady. I just had a non-weather related video go viral there, so that just proves no one cares about Columbus weather. But and then Instagram at Columbus Weather with Brady on Instagram as well.
Cool. Dina.
I'm more on Twitter at LadyPilot70.
All right. Maz, last but not least.
Thank you. At Money Storm, the number 4, the letter U on Twitter.
I love how you had to look that up. That's pretty cool. And you can find me on Twitter at PhilStormPod and right here at Stormfront Freak. Our next episode, we're going to be back in 2 weeks recording April 14th. with this is pretty cool. You guys are our recent Storm Photos of the Year winners. So we did this last year, the first year that they had the quote unquote the Stormies. We had them on the show, and again, they just announced the winners yesterday, and we're going to have them on the show April 14th. Patreon members, you can join our raw recordings live, and the edited audio podcast is going to be available to everyone else the following Sunday. Okay, so for Serena and Dina and Brady and Jen and Maz, I'm signaling the all clear. See you next time. Good night.
Bye.
Great
Boy,
show.
that time just flew.
All right, welcome to the show, Lamont Bain.
I am so sorry, everyone.
No,
You're okay.
Yeah,
Totally
You didn't
okay.
blow us off.
no, and I, like I said, I was my realtor actually. They had an event, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll go there for a little bit, and I'll get back to my apartment in time. And we're at actually 7 Arizona time. It would have been just perfect, but so sorry about that. And normally I have my AirPods on me, and I was like, of course I don't have my AirPods on me. That probably would have cleared up the sound, and we probably would have been able to start a little earlier. But it's all good. So
Cool.
It's all good. We move things around.
We're good.
yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Was
So-
it wine
so now-
and cookies? Is that what it was? Wine and cookies at the realtor thing?
Wine and cookies. So it's so I'm pretty new to Flagstaff. I've been here for about 2 months, and it was actually at it's called Flag Tag. So they have like laser tag, axe throwing, and things like that. So
Axe
Axe
throwing.
throwing.
Yeah.
Don't get those
That's
mixed up,
great.
man.
yeah. Well, and it's interesting because they have alcohol too. So it's like I don't know if alcohol and people throwing axes really mix.
Sounds like a party to me.
yeah. So
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do this. So I'll count Maz. I'll count in, and then I'll just say, hey, Maz, go ahead and introduce our guest, like we would after we found out what everyone's drinking, doing all that stuff. And you can start with the questions for Lamont, and we'll go for maybe 15 minutes or so, and then I will go into our first break, and then we'll come back, do a few more questions with you, Lamont, and play our lightning round.
sure,
Sound good?
Sure. That sounds great.
Awesome. All right, Maz, you ready?
Yep.
All right, so I will come in 3, 2. All right, great. Hey, Maz, let's go ahead and introduce our guest tonight.
Awesome. Thank you. We've got Lamont Bain. He's the Science Operations Officer. That's SOO. Sometimes we call him Sue out at the National Weather Service at Flagstaff. Lamont Bain became the lead meteorologist at Fort Worth, Dallas before moving into his current role as Science Operations Officer at the National Weather Service in Flagstaff. He's responsible for training the staff and keeping abreast of the latest meteorological and technological advances for research projects in the office. Lamont graduated from the University of Oklahoma, go Sooners, with a BS in meteorology. I'm from Nebraska, so that was really hard for me.
Oh,
to say.
wow.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. I can
Man,
see
I'm
the
sorry.
pain.
BS in meteorology, and received his master's in atmospheric science from the University of Alabama, Huntsville. Welcome, Lamont. Hey, I got to ask you.
Yes.
So, as the Sioux, what's like the most recent, latest big thing that you guys are working on, or are you allowed to even say yet?
Oh, absolutely. And you can probably see my dog in there in the background, Sandy. But one of the great things that, kind of came out of the pandemic was the ability to sort of do virtual training sessions using sort of a cloud version of our of the software that we use to make weather predictions, but also issue watches and warnings. And we call that platform is called AWIPS, the Advanced Weather Interactive Processing System. And so we've actually gotten a lot more, savvy in terms of utilizing the cloud functionality. And now, you can essentially have AWIPS just about wherever you go. If you have some sort of internet connection, you can utilize AWIPS in the cloud for training purposes, but then also in real life situations. I'm an incident meteorologist, and last year we certainly had no shortage of wildfires, especially across the western United States. And Cloud AWIPS was something that we could leverage because we have some pretty unique data sets that come in AWIPS. And so it was really awesome to be able to use that out on the front lines, keeping the firefighters and other first responders safe.
Are you seeing a lot of tech? I mean, is there like this massive curve of technology that you're starting to see? Is it like coming out like every hour, every day, every week. I mean, how is that all fit in there?
Yeah, it's always evolving. Whether it's the latest in observational equipment. We're starting to look at things like auto launchers for weather balloon launches to producing high resolution model guidance that runs essentially every hour and can actually give us time steps on the order of 15 to 30 minutes. So we're talking about numerical modeling that has really advanced pretty quickly, at least since I was going to school. So pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of autos I'd like to launch, just to let you know.
Well, Lamont, how do you keep up with that? I mean, is it communication with other offices, what they're developing? Is it research? Like how do you keep up with all of this new technology that's coming out both by you guys and also in the private sector and all these different things?
Yes, it's exceptionally challenging. But one of the best metrics, or one of the best mediums, and I think we're all excited about this as we kind of come out of the pandemic, are conferences. At these conferences, you present various presentations, on a variety of topics, and the formal settings are fantastic, but it's really sort of the on the side discussions where when you're out having a beer or two and you're just talking about some of the things the offices, your office is doing, or maybe there's a national center like the Storm Prediction Center, or Weather Prediction Center, maybe they're leveraging some new technologies, and it's like, hey, we would love to link up with you, maybe some sort of experiment, or you come to our office either in person or virtually, and we share these ideas. Certainly you've got a lot of emails, we've got a lot of different chat rooms that we utilize and talk with neighboring offices, but really I think conferences are really the big medium to share a lot of these ideas, and it's great when it's in person.
Yeah, for sure.
So Lamont, I have to ask you, moving to Flagstaff, I've actually never been there before, but the weather there, you get a lot of variation. What is one of the things that has surprised you about the weather in Flagstaff?
Yeah, so one of the things that really did surprise me, and I haven't experienced it yet, head on, but is how cool it stays, relatively speaking, in the summer. Most of the residential places here don't have air conditioning.
Wow.
And it's funny, when I told people, hey, I'm moving to Arizona, everyone, they're like, getting me the cactus figurines and saying, oh, it's going to be hot. And I said, well, Flagstaff's a little different because, we're around 7,000 feet elevation. And so for the most part, it stays pretty cool here, even during the summer. To my knowledge, the Flagstaff Airport has never eclipsed 100 degrees. Now, we do have a transition season between sort of our dry season, which is actually our spring, contrary to what I'm used to. And then before we get into really the heart of summer, that's when we start to see the transition into the monsoon season. So we go from fire weather, really hot, really dry. So kind of the typical Arizona, but then once we get into the monsoon season, provided that we've got a strong enough monsoon, we'll have daily showers and thunderstorms. The cloud cover will keep us pretty cool, and so really, for the most part, don't really need air conditioning, or so I'm told. So we'll see how that goes.
Like, it's one thing when it's Maine,
yeah,
and not Arizona.
Yeah, we've eclipsed 100 here, and we don't have air conditioning, so it's like, oh, it sounds even nicer there, and you're so much further south. That's incredible.
Yeah.
How many times?
I see. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Mass.
I was just gonna say, how many times have you used the phrase, but it's a dry heat?
So, I haven't, because I am of the opinion, at least for me, once it gets above like 103, 105, I don't really care that it's a dry heat. To me, it's just hot. Yes. And fortunately, we are, that dry heat that they have down in the valley, that's extreme heat to me. So I would probably say it's extreme heat over dry heat. From what I understand, though, you stand in the shade and it's just fine. But I was down in Phoenix last week, and your car thermometer probably not calibrated properly, but just looking at the differentials, around a 30-degree differential temperature-wise from in the foothills of northern Phoenix, and then coming up here into Flagstaff. So it's certainly the gradient that I know I didn't appreciate at first. But because we do, we don't have as much moisture, you do get those fluctuations in temperature, even over short distances, and especially with elevation. So,
So
awesome.
Lamont, I've seen you kind of were a lead meteorologist, or not kind of were, you were the lead meteorologist at Fort Worth. And now you're kind of once again, you're the science operations officer. Do you still do any forecasting, and do you miss kind of that aspect, and what's kind of the main differences between those two? Because I think for those of our viewers who may not have heard those positions before, I think that could give us some good perspective there.
Sure. Yeah. So, the difference between the lead meteorologist and any position of the National Weather Service management staff, at least at the field office, is the forecasters generally work just about exclusive operational shifts. They have what we call these supernumerary shifts, or these administrative shifts, where they can work on some of their projects and whatnot. So there's three main managers in the Weather Service: the meteorologist in charge, who's sort of the overarching boss. Then you have the warning coordination meteorologist, who mainly deals with the outreach, interfaces most with the partners and the public. And then you have the science operations officer, and that's me. And because my title still has operations, I actually will still work, a decent amount of shifts. Now, here in our office in Flagstaff, we are a little different in that we've got some vacancies. So I've actually been filling in quite a few shifts. I think the stats bore out around close to 50% in terms of the shifts that I've been working. And I actually think that's a good thing, because now moving to a completely different regime from Fort Worth, it's been really beneficial to understand just the different patterns that happen here, because they are quite different. It's certainly a lot more arid, but we also have these things called mountains here. So understanding how, what sort of role they play in precipitation, temperature, even moisture patterns, that's exceptionally important. Now, where the SU maybe differs a little bit from the forecaster, other than the amount of shift work, I'm certainly a little bit more on the admin side, but I'm looking to sort of, I really spearhead a lot of the office training to make sure that we are staying, abreast of some of the new technologies that may make our job easier, but also allow us to provide an even better service, and not just to the public. We do forecasting for airports, so aviation. We also provide forecasts for firefighters, and fire weather is certainly a pretty significant deal. Especially here across the high country, where I believe we have one of the largest, if not the largest, kind of grouping of ponderosa pine. And so, when we have these periods where we're exceptionally dry, the ponderosa pine, they shed the needles. Those needles can be very combustible, and certainly can cause problems fire weather wise. So I'm a little bit more on the admin side, but I still kind of keep one foot in the operations, mainly to help out, so I can be useful. Not to say the other managers aren't useful, but as the operations officer, it's probably even more so important that I stay a little bit more entrenched with operations, just so that I know how to help the staff, see where where are some of the challenges that we have, where are some things that we can improve upon, and really just help out there.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
Lamont, all these research projects you guys are doing, some of the ones you mentioned are all kind of like on the Met side. So, better modeling and all this stuff. But do you see something down the road that is going to be seen more by the public? Because we've had people on our show that have talked about changes in warnings and the way warnings are going to be issued. So what do you think is the next thing that is going to actually be seen by the public?
Yeah, so that's ideally there's going to be a lot of things, kind of not to spend a ton of time on warnings, but we're really shifting toward this paradigm of not necessarily warning on detection, but trying to anticipate, maybe when the storm is just developing, like, hey, you know what? A lot of our new tools are suggesting that there's a higher probability of this storm, producing large hail or producing strong winds or flash flooding. And so, for me, the basis of good service and good, what we call decision support, really stems from a good forecast. And so with technologies like that, I see us getting out ahead of things rather quickly in mediums such as our chat room to our partners, but also on our social media. Our social media, that's that can be a very efficient way to disseminate life-saving weather and warning or weather and water information to people. So I see that capability of being able to provide even advanced lead time on things like warnings really beneficial in the social media realm, and really being able to help people out and say, hey, today we're going to have a chance for showers and storms. And for our area, we've got a lot of transient traffic with the Grand Canyon in our backyard. We've got several national monuments, Horseshoe Bend. People just love to be outside. And, it's a little challenging at this point in time, when we know that, hey, there's probably going to be the potential for flash flooding, but we can't get a warning out until, 2 or 3 hours ahead of time. By then, it's probably too late. Most people are out camping or doing whatever. They don't have cell phone service. If we can, wake up that day and say, hey, today's going to be a day where if you're out, in the middle of the backcountry, you may want to consider those plans. Certainly avoid areas that are, that are flood prone and things like that. And I think once we start to get a little bit more confidence in some of those tools, we can do a lot more outreach and talk to the people at the national parks and say, hey, you know what, here's some information. This is what you should do if you find yourself in this situation where there's the potential for flash flooding. So I really see, the Weather Service as a whole, we're really shifting more toward that decision support. Doesn't matter if we have a great forecast, if it's not communicated well, and with sufficient lead time for people to make, make decisions, it doesn't matter. So
yeah, agreed.
So Lamont, let me ask you. So as the science officer, I mean, not to be like Star Trek or anything like that, but all right. So Spock, tell me, no, do you ever see like the future and think, we're going to go AI and a whole bunch of y'all are going to be out of jobs here in the future?
That's always the concern. And, maybe we will eventually get to that point. I still think we have quite a ways to go. Even with as sophisticated as AI is, it's only really giving you a forecast. It likely doesn't make it actionable for you. So, one example is the flash flood warning. You can issue the flash flood warning. We as meteorologists or weather enthusiasts, we all know what that means. But, someone, my mom, she may not know, okay, what does that mean? So while we may not necessarily be in the business of sitting down and doing the grids or maybe even drawing the warning polygons, we're still going to be communicators of that information. And again, it doesn't matter if you have, the most sophisticated tools that have a 100% probability of detection and a very low FAR. That information is not communicated and put in the hands of the decision makers and the public. It doesn't matter. So I don't necessarily, especially in my lifetime, I don't see us getting out of a job per se, but maybe I see our focus shifting more toward communicators of the hazardous weather information.
So we're good for another year, right?
I think at least another decade or two.
We're kind of good. I think we're only kind of good. Kind of good. But hey, we're talking weather forecasting, Brady. Yes, and I really hope everyone's already dumped the standard weather app that comes on your phone. Because despite most weather apps getting information from similar sources, I can't stand having to swipe, push this, swipe that way, just to get the forecast I want. But with Atmosphere Weather, it's amazing what I can see on just one screen. Atmosphere Weather's unique difference is that it shows the weather forecast around a 24-hour clock. So what's neat about that is on one screen, I can see the hourly temp, sky cover, precipitation probability and intensity. I can see live radar, and I can even sync my calendar events without having to swipe or push anything, right? So I'll tell you, you've never seen anything like it. You can find Atmosphere Weather in your Apple or Google store, or just visit atmosphereweather.com for the official weather app of the Stormfront Freaks podcast. So, hey, I think it's time for a break. Go ahead and get another drink. while you listen to this episode of Tracker Chat. We'll be right back with more from Lamont. Cool. Awesome. Good job, Lamont.
Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Good times. All right. So taking a quick little break here before we get to the second part, but we always like to have our VIPs get an opportunity to ask any
yawning,
questions.
Karina.
It was a kind of yawn, Brady.
It was a kind of
Gotta
yawn.
hide it.
Kind of yawn. So anyway, Dan, you got any questions for Lamont?
I'm kind of curious about the all hazards radio coverage you've got out in Arizona.
Yes. So, in terms of our coverage, I guess what specifically do you want to know about the coverage?
Well, do you have any like dead spots, perhaps?
There may be some areas where the coverage is a little bit, it's a tad degraded. Particularly some of the really rural areas. I'm not 100% certain if there are any dead spots per se. Obviously, as you get farther away from the center of the transmitter, your quality degrades just a little bit. But to my knowledge, there aren't any dead spots. The other great thing about some of the enthusiasts here, they stream a lot of the broadcast online, and so that certainly probably helps cover some areas that are maybe a little bit more rural, for sure. But we've got a really good coverage of transmitters here. I'm trying to recall all of them. Let me see. I know we've got Grand Canyon, Flagstaff, Payson, Greens Peak. And that actually probably, some of the terrain actually probably benefits us here because we can put these transmitters on very, tall pieces of elevation. And that probably helps kind of disseminate it a little bit. But really to answer your question, there's probably some areas where it's degraded, but not 100% confident that we have any dead spots per se.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Angela, I don't know if are you still there? Are you still with us? Do you have a question?
Yeah, I'm here. I guess my question would be, and you did already kind of touch on it, but like as technology is progressing, like what systems are being put in place to make sure maybe older people and stuff still have the simplicity to get their information?
Yeah, and that's it's always a challenge trying to ensure that you're reaching such a diverse audience, young, old, but then, here across northern Arizona, we have a pretty diverse demographic with the Native Americans. And so, we're constantly we're really reevaluating, are the tools that we have and are the services that we provide, really adequate enough to ensure that we're continuing to reach, all of our constituents. And, I know older people tend to prefer the weather radio, and that's why weather radio will likely never go away, because areas where maybe the cell phone coverage isn't great, we likely have some sort of a transmitter to get that information out. The great thing about the Weather Service and each of your offices, most of them have their phones on 24/7. If there is ever an issue with the weather radio, we typically have some expertise, and we can help anyone troubleshoot. When I volunteered at the Norman office, particularly before severe weather, that was a lot of what we did. We were assisting people, largely elderly people, with programming their weather radios and ensuring that their weather radios are working, in addition to things like the weekly tests. So agree, certainly simplicity is the best. I do think, like, even my 75-year-old grandmother, she's got a smartphone. And one of the neat things or great things that we have now with the wireless emergency alerts are those triggers. And so those can certainly be those certainly, I think, have been beneficial. So, in the short term, I don't see any of the avenues that we have to disseminate, warning information. I don't see that going away. I think there will always be funding for things like weather radio to kind of keep things simple. And then we're going to continue to work closely with the FCC in terms of sending out those wireless emergency alerts. One of the struggles that we find is that people tend to turn those off. And we always have to constantly remind people, hey, we're anticipating severe weather. Please make sure you have those wireless emergency alerts turned on. Most of our social media feeds, you don't have to even have a Twitter or well, I guess Facebook's changing up a little bit, but you don't even have to have a Twitter account to follow a lot of the information that we're putting out there. So we're always going to advocate for having multiple ways to get warning information, and those methods will vary in simplicity. So
cool.
Nice.
All right, our private chat's off the hook tonight.
Swear to God, if I see one more piece of chocolate, I'm gonna go off the wall.
Sorry, say what,
Serena
Brady?
started it.
I gave up
Kinda
chocolate for
started
Lent, and it's been brutal because I love chocolate. Oh God.
All right, so here's we're gonna come back out of break. I will start with a question, and then it sounds like Serena, you've got a couple, and Jen, you've got one.
Mhm.
One more.
Yep.
So we'll do that. We'll do your. So Serena, you can go first. Jen, you can finish with your last question. Then we'll go into the lightning round and do the game show. Okay.
Ooh, are these going to be hard questions?
I don't know.
They're always really fun.
It's always
Come on,
a good
really
time.
fun.
It's pretty simple tonight. It's pretty low key and family oriented. It's we're pretty good.
Nice, clean fun.
Yeah.
And it's not always clean fun, but I think
That's
we'll get
true.
that to you tonight.
It's not. It's not always clean fun.
And the night is still young, right?
Hey, I want you guys to understand. So I asked our Patreon members to send me an email with things they like about the show, things they'd maybe like to see us change, because I figure they're going to be the best ones, to be honest with us. And everybody that chimed in are like, oh God, love Weather Trollbot and love Porn or Storm Chaser, love the burger position game show we did. It's just they love that stuff. I'm telling you guys. I'm sorry, man. All right, so here I go. I'm going to come in. Ready? Coming in 3, 2. Hey, welcome back to the show. We haven't had in a while a National Weather Service Met on the show for a while, so it's kind of cool, Lamont, that you had a chance to join us. But you obviously have spent more time at the Dallas-Fort Worth office more than you have Flagstaff yet. And so I'm curious, was it 2020, the big winter storm and the big winter cold that you guys had that like froze everybody's pipes and all? When was that? 2020?
That was
when was that?
That would have been 2021.
It was 21. Okay.
Yep, 2021.
So tell me what was your whole experience of that, and what were some of the things that you saw and dealt with?
Yeah. So during that during 2021, that winter event, it was really a series of different events. I was actually a lead forecaster there at Fort Worth. And, it was interesting. You were showing some of the YouTube footage of the pileup. I think that was in Pennsylvania or somewhere in the Northeast.
Yep.
You all are probably familiar with the similar pileup that they had on I-35W there through just on the north side of downtown Fort Worth. And I actually live downtown. Unfortunately, that day I didn't have to go into work, but that was very, very chaotic. And I tell people this all the time. I think freezing drizzle is probably, in terms of winter precip types, that's the one that I loathe the most, because
I'm with you.
Because it's from a forecasting standpoint, it's hard because we're getting down to, the error bars associated with the tools that we have. But more importantly, it's very challenging to message. It's hard to get people to, slow down when it appears that the roads are just wet, or it's only lightly raining. And
plus, it just sucks anyway. I mean, who wants freezing drizzle on their car, on the sidewalk?
Exactly. I think ice storms in general are the worst. They're they're so overrated. I don't like them. Yeah, they make for neat photography at night if you've got power, but I think they're terrible. So that really sort of kicked things off. For that event was that freezing drizzle where we had over 100 car pileup on I-35W, the express lanes. And so that really set the tone. And then we saw periods of across our CWA, which was our county warning area, which was is massive, runs from the Red River down just to the north of the Austin San Antonio area. And so we predominantly saw snow and sleet in the Metroplex, but down across central Texas, they actually suffered a pretty substantial ice storm. And given their infrastructure, their sensitivity to winter weather, it was tremendous. It was high impact, and so that drove our workload up immensely. Certainly trying to talk with the media partners who are great, but they're asking a lot of questions. But when you think about some of the infrastructure that we have in the Metroplex, we've got not only DFW Airport, but we also had Dallas Love Field. So 2 huge airports that we're doing conference calls with them every 6 hours. We're also briefing county judges, emergency managers. And so the workload was insane. And then we get to the bitter cold. And that presented a big challenge to us, because while any sort of winter weather is high impact across the Metroplex, the cold that we were looking at was record breaking. We knew several days ahead of it, just the confidence that we were getting in some of the simulations. We said, hey, this is going to be cold. This is going to result in impacts to our power grids. You need to start thinking about what you're going to do in the event that you lose power. Most of the winter storms across North Texas, it's typically a 12 to maybe 24-hour thing. A lot of times it snows in the morning, we'll have lingering impacts, but then by the next day it's like, what snow? In this instance, it was days upon days of near sub-freezing or below, or near freezing or sub-freezing temperatures. And that really compounded a lot of the problems on the road. But then when you get down to, I believe we got down to like -1 or -2 at DFW Airport, just the infrastructure that we had there across North Texas just could not really withstand that. And so I was actually working the first night. I ended up staying at the office. I stayed in our training room. Actually, I had my queen size air mattress, and
Wow.
our office is on. We have every weather service office has a generator, and so we stayed on generator power the entire time. But we've got a window that looked north. We noticed that the lights were going off and on.
Oh my gosh.
And then we looked on our social media feeds, and we were seeing people saying, "Oh, we're without power." Again, because we were anticipating this, we had our graphics. We had our graphics saying what to do if you lose your power, and it's our hope that people still hopefully had cell phone service and they were able to take action. Even though we had our own power supply, we were not necessarily immune to the impacts from the cold. So in every weather service office, you have an equipment room, and they are staffed with two units to cool, air conditioning units to cool. Of course, those air conditioning units have the intake, and one of the intakes on one of the units was actually clogged. It became frozen, and so we're starting to get alarms. And I've been a lead. I had been a lead for maybe about a year and some change, and that was new. I was like, okay, that's not good. So we ended up. Fortunately, we have 2, so we had a backup, and I ended up turning one of the units off. And I told the other forecasters I was working with, who were younger than me, and most of them were. Let me see. In the Fort Worth office, we had a lot of natives from South Texas, and so this is also new to them. I said, well, if the other Liebert fails, we'll just open the door to the equipment room, and that should keep it pretty cool. But
yeah, I bet.
Just things like that that are like, wow, I didn't think about that. And then another thing that we have is most of our model guidance, some of our observational tools come over a satellite feed. Well, our satellite dish accumulated snow and ice, and so a couple of times we had to go out and remove the snow and ice because we were experiencing latency with some of our products. So we were very fortunate that we had power in our generator. I think on generator, it's old school diesel. I think it would last for several weeks. We were very fortunate to not have lost power and had to transfer our services over to one of our backup offices. It certainly had the event had a toll on a lot of the staff. My apartment, fortunately, I didn't lose power. I was actually really surprised by that. And then it was when I realized that, hey, I'm only a block or so away from the hospital district. So they were more than likely immune from some of the rolling blackouts. I did have some coworkers on the north side that had pools, and they had some pretty significant damage in terms of pipes bursting, the heaters running, they were losing power. Fortunately, some of them did have old school fireplaces, so they were able to keep warm. But we did have people that were able to get into the office, just stay at the office. So it was certainly, we hadn't really dealt with a significant winter weather event to that magnitude, probably close to a decade. And so we did have a little bit of rust, but the team there at Fort Worth was awesome. They really were able to, I think we were really able to rally together. We had some things pre-positioned, try to anticipate some of the things that we thought would happen as a result of the cold. And I think that really helped us. So
that's awesome. Oh my God. So I have to address the elephant in the room a little bit here. You said your dog's name was Sandy.
Sandy.
Is that meteorological? Like Sandy, or just
maybe a little bit.
Oh, bad dog. Bad
dog.
Sandy.
Oh,
Superstorm Sandy.
I think she hid.
So cute.
Yes,
That's
but
awesome.
partly. But it also
okay.
seems to just fit her because she's kind of a blonde cream, kind of like a sandy beach. So.
Nice. I just had to, like I said, elephant in the room for me. I've been dying to ask for like the past hour. So,
So Lamont, I have to ask you, you got your master's degree from the University of Alabama, Huntsville.
Yep.
And so they have an amazing, which I'm sure you know, if you did it in person, they've got Swirl, all their research, cars and trucks and everything. Did you do any research with them while you're getting your master's?
Yeah, so the Swirl building was still under construction when I was there. They had just gotten a lot of the funding, so I was over at the NSSTC. I actually ran the Armor radar, which I think you're familiar with there as well. And so I wasn't there. I think I was there for the groundbreaking ceremony. But in terms of a lot of the tools that they had. Sort of pre-Swirl, I did have the opportunity to participate operating the MAX radar, the mobile Alabama X-band radar. They have a mobile integrated profiling system, the MIPS, and then also Armor. And so I was a part of that. We were actually a part of the Deep Convective Clouds and Chemistry experiment. I was one of the lead forecasters on that. So that was fun. And then I eventually did go back. I did go back to Huntsville just to visit some friends. And I got to get a tour of the Swirl building. And wow, really, really amazing stuff. And, super, super happy. I know they've been on, I think they were the headquarters for Vortex Southeast. And then I think they're also playing a pretty big role in the Perils. I think that's the name of the experiment, Perils experiment, where they're looking more at kind of your classic Southeast tornado type environments. So it's really great to like look back and say, man, that's so cool that I went there, and I love the sound effects.
Well, hey, Lamont, that is the sound. It is actually time for our lightning round.
Okay.
So the lightning round, this is our game show of flashy and brilliant questions that we always play with our guests. And I'll tell you this, I was during the break, I was talking about some of the previous lightning round games that we've done, and some are sometimes a little risque, or we just like to have fun. But that's normally when I kind of know our guest, or I've had a chance to meet our guest before the show. And because I hadn't had a chance to really meet you yet, we're going to play a pretty family-friendly game tonight. But next time we have you on, we'll kind of get fun and go a little more. But so tonight is pretty simple. We're just playing a good old game of The Price is Right.
All right.
Little Price is Right. So yeah, it's going to be pretty simple. What I'm going to do, so this is the weather version of The Price is Right. So I'm going to actually give you some various weather products. And I'm going to give you two different prices. and you just have to tell me which price is right.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So,
Sure.
so pretty simple. And at the end, if you've gotten them all correctly, you win a car.
Free car.
You win a car.
Or what's behind door number 2?
Is it the Stormfront Freaks chasing van? Is that the car he
It might be. It might be. It might be. So here, we'll go ahead and do this. We'll get started. Here's the first product up for what do they say? Up for bid? Up for
Yeah.
whatever. So it's the Kestrel 5500 weather anemometer. Right, it's a handheld anemometer. Is the price of that $350 or $130?
$350.
That is correct, $350. So you're one question closer to that car. All right. Oh, there you go. So next one is the GoPro Hero 8 Black. Is that $200 or $300?
So I have the GoPro 10. I'm going to go 300.
That is correct. Very good. Very good.
Let's go.
Nice.
All right, here we go. Radar Scope Pro Tier 2. Is that $30 a year or $15 a year?
It's $30 a year.
Pro Tier 2, Phil. I don't think I've ever heard of
15. 15
You said,
Pro.
you said it with confidence, though.
There's multiple tiers. There's a
I'm a
Pro
Pro
Tier
1.
1. There's a Pro Tier 2.
And you were asking me about Pro Tier 2?
2. Yep. Pro Tier 1 I
okay.
think is $9.99. I think that's
Okay,
$10 a
fair.
year.
Fair.
Yep.
Yep. All right, now next one. Allison House Storm Chaser Data. Is that $165 a year or $275 a year?
Oh, I don't know.
Allison House. They actually have two. They have a Storm Hunter level. They have a Storm Chaser level. But Storm Chaser, the Storm Chaser data is at $165 a year or $275 a year.
I want to say 165 because I feel 275 is like more than what
lot,
GR
yeah.
That's
costs.
a lot. Yeah.
So 165.
You'd be correct. Good job. Good job.
All
All right.
Say that price is right. Come on, man. You got to be
What's
Drew
his
Carey
hat?
up there.
I don't watch. I haven't. I'm a
Carry
Bob
glasses?
Barker. I'm a Bob Barker
Yeah.
kind of
I'm a
guy.
young guy, but
Who's
I
doing
watch
it
Price
now?
is Right. So I
Yeah, who is doing it now? Anybody know?
It's not
Yeah, I
Drew
think it's
anymore,
Drew.
is it?
Yeah, it is.
I don't
no.
know.
Drew?
Is it still?
Did
I
you
thought
leave?
I thought he just wrapped it up or finished or announced he was finishing one of those. All right, here we go. 4 more. The Davis Vantage View wireless weather station is at $490 or $350.
You said it's a Davis.
Davis Vantage View. Yep.
What were the
$490 or $350. $490 or $350.
I'm gonna go 350.
Yeah, I'm going 350.
You would be
Yeah.
correct.
I think
job.
Oregon
No.
Scientific is more expensive than the Davis because that's what I had growing up was an Oregon Scientific, and it was.
Yeah.
it was
Didn't we all really? growing up?
Okay.
All right, Midland WR120 weather radio. The good old classic. $30 or $50.
Oh, that's. Ooh, I think that's 30.
It is 30. Very good.
Good.
All right.
He's good.
So for all those storm chasers out there, the best gas price in Flagstaff, is that going for 400 and or not 400? Is that going for $4.91 a gallon or $4.58 a gallon? The best gas price in Flagstaff right now.
458.
458.
Both of those are depressing.
Yeah.
Very
Probably
good.
the gas station that I go to if it's to the north and east of town on Highway 89.
There you go. Hint for all of you in Flagstaff. All right, now going back to the old town. Best gas price in Dallas is that $3.53 a gallon or $4.49 a gallon?
353.
You're right, man. You got more expensive. You got more expensive on it.
All right, he wins a brand new car.
No, you got one wrong. You got one wrong.
That's okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
But who's
That
your
was-
gas
that was
buddy?
impressive.
Who's your
You did
gas
good.
buddy? Lamont is.
you did really, really good, Lamont.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
thank you.
impressive. That was good.
I bought insurance just in case we actually had to give away the car, but thank God. I stopped sweating after you got that one
Hey,
one
Lamont.
wrong.
Lamont, remember to spay and
Didn't
neuter
have
your
to run,
pets.
though, did it?
Yeah,
Yes, and she is.
exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so
Oh.
Lamont, tell Lamont, tell our listeners where can they find you on social media? What's the best place to?
Sure. So I am on Twitter, and you may, I guess, can I type it in, or do I just need to say it?
Just go ahead and say it.
Yeah. So it's
unless
Lamonster.
it's super secret or something,
No,
and you don't.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's open at LAMONTSTER. So Lamonster, WX.
That's actually pretty good.
That is cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's
Very
cool.
good. So I don't know if you know this, Lamont, but our team, our Stormfront Freaks team, so we're gearing up for our Stormfront Freaks Storm Chase in late May. And at helicity.co/SFF, they've got basically a huge selection of really creative weather and storm themed t-shirts, gear, and merchandise, including Stormfront Freaks shirts and beverage containers. You can go to our exclusive site, helicity.co/SFF. And when you do that, everything in your shopping cart, you're going to get 5% off your entire order. So that's pretty cool. And while you're there, you just got to click on the brands tab, and you're going to find all your Stormfront Freaks favorites. And again, that's helicity.co/SFF. So it's time for our final break, but we've got more to come, including hashtag WeatherFools and Brady's What Happens Next. So stay tuned.
Have we already done that?
We did kind of.
Thanks for still talking while the audience was clapping. Now we got to edit that out weird. Fuck. Brady, you kind of came in a little too soon there, buddy. All right. Okay, Lamont, do us a quick favor. Give us a sound bite, if you would, and just say, hey, this is meteorologist Lamont Bain of the National Weather Service in Flagstaff, and you're listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Okay. Hi, this is Lamont Bain of the National Weather Service office in Flagstaff, Arizona, and you are listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Wow.
Very good.
Nice.
Very good.
Well done.
Nice. Well done.
Very good. All right, and then quick, I'm going to quick do my normal pre-intro. So Lamont, this is the first thing we normally do, but I didn't want to do it because I didn't know were we going to get you on tonight or not, and I was going to have to make up something else. So I'm going to quick do this, guys. 3, 2. Hey, Storm Freaks, it's Phil. We're finishing National Weather Podcast Month with tonight's guest, meteorologist Lamont Bain from the National Weather Service Flagstaff office. And we've also got more hashtag WeatherFools and Brady's What Happens Next segment. It's all on episode 154 of the Stormfront Freaks podcast. All right. Good, we're done.
Nice.
We got it. We got it all in.
Good job.
Excellent.
That was a very interesting order for everything. That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
even
Oh my
like
God.
backwards. It was
Thank
like,
you all
oh
for
man.
being flexible. Like I said,
No problem.
No worries.
I wish I had looked at that closer, and I was like, oh
worries.
man. When
I
I
just-
saw the email from Phil, I was like, oh no. I was like, oh.
I'm just,
mine
thank
is
God MJ's got to edit this and not me. That's,
It's
I
all
will
good,
totally be on, because this seems really, really cool. I didn't know what to expect. Do you all have your podcast on on the App Store or the Apple Podcast?
Yeah.
yeah, we're on all that. Spotify,
really
Apple
cool.
Podcasts, iHeartRadio.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
We're
that's
everywhere.
Go plug us.
Podcast.com.
we are everywhere.
Yeah, most
Joe Rogan
definitely.
podcast. We're on that. You know, all that. We're on all the biggest podcasts.
And Lamont, I have to say, we were in, I was at the groundbreaking of Swirl. I was a
Okay.
meteorologist at WHNT at the time.
Right, right.
We
Yeah,
were-
I think I was like, I think I remember you on WHNT. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh my gosh, we'll have to connect like outside of this.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. My daughter, like I swear, every time we do this podcast, which is like every other week or so, she gets out of her bed. She knows I'm doing it somehow. And I'm like, she can't even hear it, but she's
Yeah. How often do you all do the podcast? Is it every week or
Every 2 weeks.
Every
Every
other
2 weeks?
every
Okay,
other week.
cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
And how long have y'all been doing it again?
Wow.
We're 6. We're in our
Years
6th,
now.
going on 6 years here. So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. That's
Yeah.
super
We're going
cool.
storm chasing for the first time. So that was
Yeah.
pretty
Feels like 20 years.
it does. Yeah, it does.
And if you have the time, I'm just curious where everyone is from and where they live and
So I'm from Cincinnati, or I live in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Dina's Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay.
Brady is Columbus, Ohio.
Okay. Okay.
Jennifer is Atlanta.
Okay.
Serena's Vermont.
Vermont.
You
okay.
son of a.
New Hampshire.
Vermont's somewhere up there.
Get the states mixed up.
The
That's
V,
funny.
right?
She's in New Hampshire, but
okay.
you're north. You're
I
you're
never understood.
sort of north New Hampshire or central.
No, I'm in Southwest now, but
Wow.
just you couldn't get it more wrong. But it's cool. Just call me
Oh,
Canada, Bill. I'm just
okay.
Canada.
May as well be. May
Greg
as
is
well
well.
from Canada. Greg's
Fine.
from Canada.
be. Flying the flag, and then Maz is Cincinnati,
Cincinnati. Okay.
and then Dan Wallace. He's down in Dallas, so he's a Dallas guy. So
Really?
a lot
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And Angela is Oklahoma City area, but she's on the road a lot. She
Okay.
drives truck and yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we're kind of all over.
Yeah, that's good.
So I will tell you this. So we'll edit this and then we will upload it. The audio podcast will upload it usually on Sunday.
Okay.
Those that subscribe to us on their podcast app usually will get it Sunday. But sometimes if you're not a subscriber, sometimes it's not available or it doesn't show up till Monday.
Okay.
But I'll probably post something Monday is my guess, and I'll tag you on it and stuff. And if you want to share it or do whatever, you can.
Yeah.
And Lamont,
Thanks
we,
so much, Lamont.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
going to
that
whittle
would-
it down. About 6 minutes total is what this thing will be.
We're just gonna speed it up,
After we
like
edit
triple the speed.
I do feel like we're handing MJ like an April Fool's joke on a platter for this.
God.
one.
Good.
You know,
Maybe
the
a little,
sad
like,
thing
surprise
is,
recording at the end for him. Maybe like
I wasn't writing any of these times down. Like, okay, this started at this time or this. Like, I was like, I'm like moving. So he's screwed.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
it's not even like if we did it all backwards and you could just I'll just reverse the order, but we jumped
That's
around
true.
a little bit.
Or,
Yeah.
or we could just have a podcast backwards and just see how it goes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there you go.
Work.
See if people are
There's a
paying
hidden
attention.
message.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Release the whole show backwards. Why not?
All right.
Test the fan mailbox.